Speaking of that day, now anyone can see video from the January 6th insurrection, but a Republican led House committee started posting internal footage on a public website Friday. Joining us now to talk more about the videos and their impact is federal defense attorney Ronald Chapman. Ronald, thank you for being here. So, first, we have seen bits and pieces of the developments in the case, like the gag order fight. But how will releasing this video to the public impact any trial outcomes for Trump?
Well, this was a very interesting tactic by the Speaker of the House. The idea is that if you release the 40,000 hours of footage, remember here, we have, I believe, 335 defendants who've already been sentenced for January 6th related offenses. Those defense attorneys are going to start combing through that video, and potentially the public will start making some arguments that those people are, in fact, innocent, really putting pressure on the prosecutors against Trump. This appears to be a combined attack against the January 6th trial, and I'm sure it's going to have some pull on public opinion as this video gets digested.
So, what do prosecutors do? How do they prepare for this incoming possible attack?
Well, I think it's really important to separate what happened at the Capitol on January 6th from the statements made by Donald Trump and the efforts that were allegedly undertaken to overthrow the election. And I think that's where the prosecutors will focus, not so much on what happened inside the Capitol, but all of the other efforts surrounding the election to try to get Mike Pence not to certify the election. That's really the nerve that prosecutors need to pinch on, and that's what will get them away from this January 6th narrative. I think it's really important that they focus on the real issues in the case and not all of the video that may be coming out.
So, do you have any examples of some of these defendants already trying to use some of this video to get their cases reviewed?
Not just yet. The video has just come out. We've heard of a couple of the defendants which are proceeding to the Supreme Court of the United States. Two defendants, I believe one's last name is Miller, is challenging the use of the obstruction of justice, challenging the use of this conduct as it relates to obstruction of justice charges. The Supreme Court hasn't allowed cert to be granted, meaning accepted arguments on that issue, but we do expect to hear about that soon. In the meantime, a lot of these defendants who've pled guilty, many of them, their defense attorneys will be looking through this video, but there's one catch. A federal plea usually requires an appeal waiver, meaning you've waived your right to appeal. And access to the courts for these defendants is going to be very difficult, if not impossible.
You talked about the hundreds of people who have already pleaded guilty, and appealing that would be difficult. And now this video and the tactics that defense attorneys might be using. But you said that they could comb through the video and see if anything might be not just right. But on the opposite, could the video also show things that could be detrimental to their clients?
Absolutely, and maybe detrimental to people that the FBI are still looking for. In fact, in a press release that came out by the FBI, they indicated they are still looking for some people who've assaulted officers and agents and may be criminally charged still for January 6th offenses.
Federal Attorney Ronald Chapman, thank you so much for being here and sharing your insight on this tonight. A lot to watch out for.